Okay, I'm gonna tell this story and I'm not gonna delete it this time, I promise. Okay, so when I was like 20, right? I used to work at a walk-in hair salon. I had only been in one relationship in my whole life. I didn't know like how the dating scene was, anything like that, right? So this guy walks in, like he's older, like he's like established, like he's like, "Can I get your number?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like, here's my number." So we're like texting, whatever. And he texts me one day and he's like, "Hey, do you want to meet up and hang out?" And I'm like, "Sure. Like, where do you want to go?" And he's like, "Why don't you meet me at the Pizza Hut parking lot?" And I thought that was strange, but like I did it like I said, I was like young, dumb, whatever. So I drive to the Pizza Hut parking lot, right? Okay, when I get there, we're talking, things are cool, whatever, and then he like stops and he's like, "Hey, can I see your feet?" And me, I'm a people pleaser, so I'm like, "I guess, here's my feet." Well, my man's like gets out of his car and like comes and like kneels on the pavement, right, to like look at my feet. So then he like takes off my shoe and then like peels off my sock and it's just like staring at my feet, right? Like, I don't, like, he was just like staring at them. Like, it was very bizarre. Okay, next thing I know, this dude asked me, "Hey, if I lay on the pavement right here, will you walk on my back?" Do you know that I told him yes? I literally walked on this man's back, barefoot, in the Pizza Hut parking lot, guys. I did that, right? That's on me. That's on me. So, anyways, I'm doing this. I have no dignity at this point. Like, I'm just like, this guy likes me. So I walk on his back, like barefoot, in the parking lot. Then I'm like, "Hey, I've got to go. Like, I've got to go. Like, this is strange." So, anyways, I get in my car and I'm like driving off and I call my friend and I'm like, "Hey, girl, this just happened to me." And she's like, "Oh my God, that happened to another one of my friends, the same dude, right?" That's weird. Clearly he has a serial foot fetish, right? So, like, fast forward like 5 years later, like this was like 3 weeks ago, guys. I'm talking about this at the salon, and this girl literally is like, "That's my brother." I'm talking about this man, and this girl knows that I'm speaking about her brother. We're all connected.
I gave money to a homeless man and instantly regretted it. So outside of the grocery store that I go to, there's a bus stop. And sometimes when I go grocery shopping, there's a man sitting at that bus stop. And sometimes he's asleep on the bench with his coat wrapped around him and he looks so cold and so hungry like every time I see him. And I always think to myself to carry cash with me so I can give it to this man, but I never do. I always forget. But today I remembered. So I went to the grocery store and I saw him sitting there on the bench and he was holding this cup and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to drop some money in his cup. So I walk up to him all proud and I drop money in his cup and this man instantly gets super mad. And he was like, "Yo, what is you doing? What you just dropping my coffee?" And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was like, "Coffee? Oh my God, sorry. I thought that was your change cup." This man looked at me and was like, "Change cup? I'm not homeless. I'm just waiting on the bus." Oh my God. I never been so embarrassed. I didn't even know what to say. I just walked away. I didn't even go grocery shopping.
I think my boyfriend is in an incestual relationship with his sister. I know this sounds ridiculous, but listen before you call me insane. I'm running this because I can't sleep. I've dated him for a year. He's Italian and I'm an American student in Rome. Looking back, there had been signs even early on. I took all of this as cultural at first. One of our first dates, we were talking about our families and he showed me a picture of his sister and raved about her beauty. She is actually gorgeous. She's a classic Italian beauty and very chic. I was jealous of her then, but had no idea where this was going to go. I have only been around her a handful of times, but she had made it clear she does not approve of us dating. She's icy, distant, and hostile. She has said in front of me that he should be with an Italian. She speaks several different languages, including English, but every time I've tried to talk to her in English, she replies in Italian. "You are in Italy, speak Italian." She once told me he'll be gone soon. My boyfriend is openly very affectionate with her. He dances with her and whispers in her ear, kisses her cheek and the side of her mouth, hugs her closely. Every time I've seen them together, he's brought her a nice gift. People here are genuinely affectionate, but everything combined is off. Once at a family dinner, I was helping his mom with the food and he and his sister went out to the patio. I looked out and she was sitting on his lap. What sister does that? If I ever try to sit on my brother's lap, I think he would like punch me. I have also seen her caress his bare chest at the beach. This same time at the beach, he carried her in the water with her legs wrapped around his waist and his hands were practically on her. If they did this when they thought I couldn't see, what do they do when they're really alone? He's also gotten into a physical fight with her boyfriend, but I'm not sure what it was about. Earlier tonight, my feeling got a lot worse. He never leaves his phone sitting around, but he did this time. He got a message from her and I looked over. She said, "My heart is yours, my king." And we were met. She said, "My heart is yours, my king," and we were made for each other. To clarify, this is a translation from Italian. I left without telling him. He blew up my phone, but I have no idea what to say to him. This has been my best relationship, but this cannot be normal, can it? I'm sick to my stomach and feel mortified thinking about this. A few things worth noting that I forgot to mention. She wears a locket with a photo of them in it. She was sitting across from me at dinner and opened it and gave me a taunting look. At the time, I didn't want to call her out and look crazy, but now I think she definitely was trying to rub it in my face. Also, not only was she sitting on his lap, but she was looking into his eyes and twirling his hair. I also saw him kiss her on the neck near her ear. It wasn't super smoochy, but to me it seemed like a weird place to kiss your sister.
I had the most incredible 8th grade teacher. His name was Mr. Watson. Coolest name ever. And he was this old man, and he was just like, he looked like he had like a briefcase. He was like one of those teachers, and he was like in charge of social studies or history. I'm not even sure what he was teaching us at that point. Like, we read books in his class and learned something. He would often do this thing where he would teach us like he would ask us pop culture questions, like what was the movie that grossed $50 million over the weekend, and we would have to answer like things like that. And often he would give out Tootsie Pops as like prizes to questions that we had answered. And when I asked him, "Why do you give out Tootsie Pops?" and like, "Why no other candy?" he's like, "Cause I don't like Tootsie Pops." So if I gave out a candy that I did like, there just wouldn't be any candy because I would eat it. And he was just like this like quiet, clever older man. And I remember telling him, "Hey, Mr. Watson, I'm not going to be here on this day because it's my birthday." And he goes, "Your birthday is that specific day?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because that's my birthday." And I'm like, "Oh my God, Mr. Watson, we have the same birthday." I was so annoying to him and I knew it. And he was just like, "Yep, that's my birthday too." And yeah, like I said, I wasn't there. However, we did not know that he was actually retiring. Like, that was his final year. He was not coming back. And what we ended up doing, I don't know who organized this, but somebody ended up going out and buying a bunch of Tootsie Pops, which doesn't make sense because he has, like he stated before, he does not like Tootsie Pops. But it makes sense because that's what he would give us, and he was known for it. He literally, as we were doing our little class graduation, because like I said, we were 8th graders, as we were walking across the stage, we each handed him a Tootsie Pop in his hand, and he ended up having this huge like basket of Tootsie Pops. Someone had to give him a bag or something. I remember just being so overwhelmed with Tootsie Pops. And on the last day, he played Star Wars, which was like one of his favorite movies or something. And I was literally his last period of the day, so I think I was possibly his last class ever. And I don't know where Mr. Watson is currently, or I don't know anything. Like, I don't want to speculate anything like that, but I hope he's good. I was like 14 years old when I left his class, so he was a great teacher.